Good evening, guys. Can give me a notification. Can you guys hear me okay? I didn't do a sound test before I went live. I should have. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me. I'll read through some of these comments. Newman Attack always has some beautiful comments. He hates foreigners. Um, Hopefully, this situation will be taken care of here soon. Of course, the wife is always in here. Hello, darling. I'm glad you're here to help out. Sean Fairman is here. Glad to have you, Sean. Appreciate you coming in. And good friend Stephen Blankenship. We had a long conversation today. Can't wait for you to come aboard. I know you're just right around the corner. Darling says, hello, rabbit followers. As always, let's keep words respectful and not lose touch. We all just want what's best for everyone. Three Rigs. Hey, buddy, Fly Rabbit. And it sounds good. And Sean Fairman says, loud and clear. Yeah, the boss is in tonight, guys. There's a lot of trouble brewing around. Not going to go into it, but good evening, Jonah. How are you? And we got Roger Berry. What's up, Roger Berry? How are you, buddy? Glad you're here. So you wife says you guys can hear me loud and clear. I don't know how long of a show we're gonna have tonight, but it's up to you guys to do a show, because I really got nothing to talk about. We did a great show last night. Just to let you guys know, I mean, we hit almost 400 views last night in less than 24 hours. I think it was 360, 370, almost 400. I don't think I've ever had that many views on a live. Personally, I don't think I've ever had that many views on a live period, let alone in 24 hours. So whatever Michelle did last night, she did a good thing. We had 71 people at one time on there. And again, 370 something views. That's pretty good. So Newman says he was assaulted by a foreigner today. His disdain is justified. Oh, man. Excited. I'm coming over to Swift on owner-operator program. Guys, I am absolutely wore out. I've been driving all day. I started in... So your video isn't quite clear. Sound is good. Okay. I don't know why the video isn't good. Let me see what it looks like here. It's really weird because... Why? Oh, I see what's going on here. I got airplane mode on. Hold on one second. Maybe this going on here. I got airplane. I don't know why you're not seeing the video. Looks great. Video looks great. Yeah, I'm excited for you too, Stephen. I think you're going to do very well over here. I've got a young female, Christine. I talked to her today. She's actually a company driver that's going to switch over to the owner-operator side. I had long conversations with her today. She's going to do just fine. She's actually done the SFI lease before and a couple other leases, but got out of the game for a long time and became a company driver with Swift. Talked to her and also talked to my buddy Mike. He's coming over in the next week or so also. We got Justin Burgers. What's up, buddy? How are you today? And we got Three Rigs. It's hazy on my end, too. That is so weird that you guys... I don't know why it's hazy. I'll use the laptop next time. We'll use the laptop next time. So the wife says that she doesn't like the camera lane goes hazy. Well, I'm not going to sit here and fix it now. You know what? I got an idea. Hold on a second, guys. I think I know what that problem is. I think I can fix that right now. Let's see if this works. I think it's hazy because we got a lot of sunlight coming in at this time of the day. Let's see if I can cover this up and fix that. The only thing I hate about doing lives by myself is I feel like I'm talking to myself. I feel like a creepo is what I feel like. Let's see if this works. Not so sure it's going to work. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me, guys. get back to the messages. Well, is that any better other than just the sheet hanging down here? Well, shit. Maybe my plan ain't gonna work. What? Let's try this. That'll work. That might work. Is that better on the hazy side now, guys? What's up, Nathan? You're another guy that's coming aboard too. I've got like 4 or 5 guys that are coming aboard in the next week or two. Glad to have you on here, Nathan. Where are we on the whole talk today? Well, we always got some whole talk going on, that's for sure. It's blurred because you're in fisheye mode. All right. Well, clue me in. How do I take myself off in fisheye mode? Do you know? Let's see here. Not so sure that I can change it while I'm doing a live. Interesting. You're tucking us in bed. Absolutely. Yes. So it is better then. Okay. Steven says yes. 3 Rig says better too. I wish that I could get this up here to where I can keep that blurriness there too. Let's see if this works. Ah, shit. Falling down again. All right. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Let's see. There. It's interesting why that's showing up on there, but whatever. I hope that's better. I hope that that's better. All right, let's get back. No more comments. All right, everybody's saying better. So we got 22 people on here. Like I said, I got like 4 or 5 guys that are coming in the next week or two. And then I got like 2 more guys that are coming over in a month or so. So whatever Michelle did and what I've done in the last 2 weeks, it seems to be working. A lot of people are giving me a lot of negative comments about it. But you know what? I can only tell you guys what I've done, and I've always been successful at Swift. Guys, I've shot everybody straight. The guys that I've talked to, I've told you guys, I've actually talked a couple of you guys out of coming because, one guy had an SFI truck, and I just told him straight up, I don't think you'll make any money over here with a Schneider truck, and he wasn't willing to give it. Actually, there's 2 people that I talked to about that. It's not going to work for everybody, but if you want steady money and you want easiest possible way to get into something, you can't beat what Swift has. So the wife says, take your hat off, see the hair. Well, my hair looks good, but it's I was laying down a little bit. Anyway, Swift isn't for everybody, but I think overall, I think most people will do just fine over here and well, as long as they're smart about, your fueling, what load you take, and don't go to certain areas. And, like I tell some of the guys, don't try to reinvent the wheel and go to places that you shouldn't go, especially out west. Other than that, if you can do those things, I mean, it's pretty plug and play. There's not a lot to it. And when I say plug and play, it's all up to the planners and them keeping you moving. So it's important that you make contacts while you're over here, like I've done in the past few years. Make contacts with people and make sure that they know you're alive. They're not perfect either. And I'm not saying that Swift's perfect, but, you got to let the people know you're there and you're working. And that's one of the things the guys that are coming over, I'm gonna work with them as much as I possibly can. I say guys, but there's a gal too. Even though she's a company driver and coming over, I'm still gonna help her out as much as I possibly can. But overall, guys, I think everybody will be happy that's coming over. Anybody got any questions tonight? Like I said, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about. I just wanted to come on live because I said I was going to. My dad, growing up, any business that he ever had, he would always say that, if the store opens at 8 a.m., well, the store opens at 8 a.m., not 8:01, not 7:59. You open the doors when it's supposed to. So my goal is to try to bring you a show every Thursday night that I possibly can at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, granted, we're all truck drivers, and we all know sometimes that just doesn't happen for, reasons of deliveries or traffic or whatever. But if I have any kind of control over it, I will bring you guys a show every Thursday that I possibly can. So Nathan says, this guy called me today wanting to lease my truck onto his company for 90% of the load. And I told him that I'm going to Swift, and he told me that I'm crazy. Um, you know what? 90% is actually pretty good, but there's a lot of BS that you got to put up with when you go to some of these companies that do this 80-20 split, the 90-10 split. I don't know, man. I like easy. I don't like dealing with brokers. There's a lot of guys that'll argue with me about this. I like to take the easiest route as possible. And when you come over here and you're doing dropping hooks and that type of stuff, it can't get any easier. Aaron Ware, will Swift allow you to get an APU installed? Yes, they will allow you. The only thing that they ask is they want you to call and get permission. They want to know about it. They want to know about the manufacturer. They want to know who's putting it on. And they don't want any, basically any fresh holes drilled. I don't think, if my memory serves me correct, having in Newman probably agree to this, I don't think you have to put any holes in anything to put the APU in. It just basically bolts onto the frame where bolts currently are. And quite frankly, I think it's illegal to even drill anything into the frame. I could be wrong about that. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I was always told. But yes, you can put an APU on the truck. If you get one of the new Volvos or the new Volvo has an EPU on it, so you don't need an APU. The other trucks have like the Freightliner has the Opti Idle. Not that it's the best or anything, but it still has a system that keeps you somewhat cool. Ranger, Florida. I'm getting drunk right now. Awesome. Awesome. Frames are APU ready from the line. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. They just basically attach it to where the holes already are and the bolts already are. Yes, that's what I thought. Ranger LPA. Home time, baby strip club later night. Hey, go throw them dollars around like Flow Rider, buddy. Make it rain. Make it rain. Anybody that knows me knows about my family's history. I don't want to go into it or anything, but we're very good in the ballet. Let's put it that way. What's up, Mark Ely? How are you, buddy? Hope things are going well with you, bud. How's it going at USA Truck / DB Shanker? Everything good over there? I caught you on one of Cash's King lives, and you were talking to DIY about going to work with him. Is things starting to dry up over there? Aaron Ware, 10-4. Thanks. I'll get with you when I'm closer to making that jump. Okay, Aaron. You let me know, buddy. Just make sure you get in touch with me before you call a recruiter or Michelle. Make sure you get in touch with one of us first, because once you get attached to a recruiter, you're attached to that recruiter for a long time. So you're going great. 9,300 this week. That's awesome. That's actually pretty good. You can drill, cut, and weld frames, but the requirements are very, very specific, and you must use special tools due to tempered metal. Okay, that makes sense. Seabass, hey, do you need to start your own authority with Swift? No, you're going to run under Swift's authority if you come over here and lease on. It's not always about the money. Yeah, I hear you, Mark, and I agree with you. That's one of the reasons. Honestly, that's one of the reasons why I'm here. I like it because I'm comfortable here and it's easy. Wealthy and healthy. APU mostly we use like clamped or use a U-boat. How are you tonight, wealthy and healthy? Not going to give out your real name because I know you don't want to. So you made that much money. Would you say 9,300 on 2,700 miles? That's pretty damn good. That's like almost $4 a mile. Yeah, almost a little about 3.5. Anyways, $3.50 a mile. That's pretty damn good. Is that your deadhead miles and everything? 9,300. Wow. 2,700 miles. That's pretty good, especially in this market. And and that's one of the things that I always say to you guys, and the guys that are actually trucking, the actual truck drivers. You all know the market for the last couple of years has been really, really crazy. 23, 20 into 22 into 23 was probably the worst market that the trucking has ever seen in a long time, maybe forever. I don't know. Um, I still did really well in those markets, and if you come over here, you can still do pretty well. I mean, you're not going to be a millionaire. You're not going to make $1 million a mile like some of the guys that come on here and say they do. I made $18 a mile. Yeah, yeah, for 13 miles you did. What's your email? I'll email you my settlement. Flyrabbit at mail.com. mail.com. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. I was at USA Truck a few years back. I had a tail truck. I couldn't make any sense of it. I tried it. I immediately came back to Swift. That was my second time back to Swift. I left to get that tail truck. Loved the truck. Just didn't like USA Truck at the time. They just couldn't make the money for the payments and stuff. I'm sure it's changed now. Bless says that's nothing. I grossed 11,000 this week for 39.57 miles. All right, guys. I don't mind you all doing that, man, but everybody has their limits and what they make. And no, you cannot weld or cut on the frames of an 18-wheeler. It's federal laws, but they do. Okay. I thought that I'd read that somewhere. I wasn't 100% sure, but I thought that. Anyways, I don't want to get into a money war with any of you guys here or anything, who's doing what or anything like that. It's really no sense. There's a lot of drama going on the back end of this YouTube stuff right now, and I'm not here to start any drama. I'm just here to do my thing and move on. 34 people in, surprisingly. I guess, me doing this live every Thursday at the same time makes sense. So, what do you guys think about what's going on in the world right now? There's a lot of little side stories going on. We got, the peaceful protest or riots or whichever way you really want to call it. To me, it's riots. We got that going on. Possibility of going to war with Iran and with Israel. We got that going on. And, just the LA mayor and the California governor, man, there's some crazy crap going on right now. There's usually a sticker on the frame that tells you no welding or drilling. 3 weeks. Okay. There's G.A. Deshawn. I was just talking about you. It's a crazy time right now. So G.A. Deshawn's one of the guys that has a SFI truck, and I just told him straight up that I don't think you'll make any money over here with that truck. Just Google yourself, and then you got a winner. LOL. Okay. All right. Kevin Snipes, good evening, buddy. How are you? Oh, and by the way, guys, thanks to my wife, I don't have it with me. Excuse me. But the wife has ordered some baseball caps. So we're trying them out. I got 2 hats, one for me, one for her. And I'm going to start putting them in. We're going to start a shop here real soon, and we'll have hats and some T-shirts and some other little trinkets and stuff. But thanks to her, she's putting stuff together really nice, and she said the quality of the hats are A+. Don't really have pricing yet, but we're thinking somewhere between $25 and $30, and they're good quality hats. Don't know anything about the T-shirts or anything else yet. Just haven't got that far. It's just kind of a work in progress, but I want to start putting stuff out there. Where does Blessed work? Techno asks. Blessed, where do you work at? Stay away from the blue cities the next couple weeks, or at least be very cautious if you need to. Yeah, I had an opportunity to take a load to Houston, which would have delivered Saturday, but I turned it down just because of everything going on. I'm trying to stay out of the bigger cities if I'm able to. Yeah, Techno's right. Don't forget to hit the like button and give me some subscriptions. I really want to grow this channel pretty quickly, and I've got some ideas on how I'm going to do it, but I want to do it as organically as possible. I don't like doing fake crap. A lot of guys like doing fake crap, but I don't. Um, I'm going to try and get some good content out. I'm going to try and put another video out in the next, hopefully by the weekend. Um, don't really know what a topic's going to be yet. I'm going to come up with something. I don't really want to go over numbers a whole lot. If anybody needs numbers or they want to know what I'm making, feel free to call me. I'll be more than happy. And pretty much the 3 or 4 guys that are in here that are coming over in the next week or two, 5 guys, whatever it is, 5 guys, y'all get it? 5 guys hamburgers. But anyway, they've all contacted me and we've went over numbers, and I've kind of given them, a brief synopsis and explanation of some numbers. And Mr. Mike, man, we've talked probably about 5 hours in the last 3 days over the phone. He knows more about Swift than I do. Uh, and, I've been here 4 different times. But anybody got any questions or anything you want to talk about, what's going on in the world, anything? Cool story. Everyone's still wrong. Truck manufacturers, produce publication entitled Bodybuilder's Instructions. Man, you come up with some of the wildest shit sometimes. So there's a lot of issues with trucks right now, and a lot of issues with cars, and what's going on. And Ford, and I'm only doing Ford because I worked for Ford for so many years, not at the factory, but as a salesman. And I know Ford inside out, just like I know Swift inside out. And that's a funny story too. I went back to the same Ford dealership 3 times. A little bit different situation because we moved out of the state, and then I just went back to the same dealership. But anyway, with Fords, there's a lot of recalls going on right now. And the problem is, for about the last 15 years, they're not paying what they used to pay. Years ago, I'm guessing back in the 90s, early 2000s, I was trying to get hired at one of the 2 plants that are in Louisville before I moved to Florida. And back then, it was so hard to get on. You had to know somebody, or you had to have an uncle or a brother or somebody that worked there. And the many times that I applied, I never got a phone call. But back then, even in that time, I mean, there were 6-figure jobs with overtime and everything back then. If you go there now and work, you might not even make 70 or 80,000. So they're not paying them what they used to. And because of that, with all the recalls and the layoffs and the economy, nobody's buying cars right now. Well, they're just throwing these cars together as quickly as possible. Same thing with the trucks. I know the Volvo plant had a big strike here not too long ago, and a lot of those Volvos are having issues. And it's not hard to look up. You can look up all the stuff. And it's not just Volvo. It's all the manufacturers. Anybody that's been inside of Kenworth knows that their body panels fall off as you drive down the road. They got electronic issues. It's just one thing after another, guys. So Bless says he works at MGL Incorporated. Techno. Justin Berger says Trump trade done with China. Yep, that's what I read too. I heard it was done. I wouldn't tell these trolling trolls anything about your numbers. It's not any of their business. Yeah, I know. I don't. That's why I've gotten to the point where I just have people call me and I can discuss it over the phone, kind of vet them over the phone. Sweet and Faith Trucking TV. Never hopped on your lives, but glad you found your itch with Swifty and stopped hopping companies. Yeah, Swift has always been kind of a home to me. Like I said, I've been here the 4th time. And I've told everybody in the past, if you're not happy somewhere, or the company's not treating you right, or they're not paying you right, or whatever it is, or there's just something wrong with it, why does anybody stay? I mean, to me, I don't understand that. And again, hopping companies, it doesn't matter if I hop a company or not. It's my equipment. It's my truck. I make the decisions on what I do. And it doesn't really matter, where I go or how I go. And I've always said, and I'm not trying to be mean or rude or anything, but I've always said, if you're a truck driver with 2 years, at least 2 years, a clean record, and they like you, um, you're like a professional athlete. You're worth a lot of money to them, and a lot of guys don't have that right now. There's a lot of issues going on, so it's always about the money. And anybody ever tells you anything differently, well, they're lying to you. It's always about the money. Wealthy and healthy. I tell him that all the time. Absolutely, absolutely. I'll tell you later, Nuko, who wealthy and healthy is. I am seeing a lot of scared immigrants without papers. I haven't personally seen, I've seen a lot of DOT officers out there, but I haven't seen any hustling with the illegals yet. None. I'm not saying it's not happening, but I haven't seen any personally. Well, thanks for stopping by, Sweat and Faith. Okay. Newman Attack. I love being right. Come on, bro. Come at me, bro. G.A. Deshaun, do you think it's going to come to a point where these Russian companies out of Illinois will no longer be a thing? You know, I was thinking about that the other day. I don't know how they get away. I mean, I do know how they get away with it. It's obviously tied to money. Just like I said, everything's always about the dollar. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You know, and the thing is with the Russian companies, out of all these accidents, how many of them were the Russian companies, honestly? Most of them are single owner operators with Amazon trailers. Amazon is a company that's get hit right now. Um, I mean, I'm not saying there's no accidents out there with the Russian companies, but I don't see a whole lot of them. It's usually the Amazon guys. Um, Wealthy and healthy. I'm not a bro, but okay. Somebody call you a bro? And I know you're not a bro. Can I? Oh, Newman attacked you. Can I tell everybody who you are, wealthy and healthy, or do you want to keep it a secret? Seabass says, where can you find safe long-term parking other than a Swift terminal? So I started something. When I go home, I park at, I look at what is it? Truckparkingclub.com. They actually have an app where I park at that's nearest my house. It's about 15, 20 miles away. I pay $17 a day. What I do is I drop my trailer so I don't have to go and search for a trailer. It's kind of hard to find one in Florida. So I drop my trailer there and then I bobtail home. I do it every time now. And to me, it's worth the $17 a day to do that and know that it's going to be safe. And it's a locked up facility too. Decaf drivers. Okay. What do you mean by that, darling? You worked for Swift. I was a mentor there. First out of Memphis, then Sparks, Nevada. I liked the health insurance. Back then it was good. Yeah, health insurance was good all the way around back in, 15, 20 years ago. A lot of things have changed. What's up, Mike Strange? We were just talking about you. Everything's going good. Glad you're coming aboard. Newman Attack. There are more Russian companies than you think there are. Oh, I know there's quite a few of them. And a lot of them are the same company, just using different DOTs. Wealthy and healthy, you can tell. Okay, so wealthy and healthy is Pop Tart Gone Trucking. She comes on the channel all the time. Nicole, I know you've seen her. Hey, y'all. Oh, Pop Tart, changing the name. Now, she uses that for her troll name. I bet the Russian companies get a pat on the wrist when they get caught and just pay to get out and then go back to being unethical. They change MCs like T-shirts. Yep, I agree with you 100%. I don't think it's ever going to change. I think we're just going to have to deal with it and work with it best I can and best that we can. And unfortunately, they're always going to attract drivers that don't do their research, and even with my channel, and I still constantly tell you guys to research everything before you decide to come over here. Just because I sit here and recruit and tell you guys to come over here because it's great and good and all that, I'm not telling you that it's great and good. I'm just telling you what I've done and, what you can do too if you apply yourself. And again, it might not be the perfect fit for you. There's other companies that might be the perfect fit for you. Nathan says, I have paid parking spot behind a locked gate. That's awesome. That's the way to do it. Wealthy and Healthy says she was saying chill out. So wife says I'm lagging. I don't mean to be lagging. I got great internet here. I don't know why. Let me don't do this. Hold on a second, guys. No, it's lagging there. Let me know if that's better, guys. Now that it's clicked in. Thank you, Wealthy. You get it? Absolutely. It's Pop Tart Gone trolling name. It's my troll name. And talking about me when I wasn't here. That's right. We were talking about you, talking about the 5+ hours that we've talked to each other for the last, 3 or 4 days. I told him that you know more about Swift than I do. You think Swift will pass on fuel discounts? Um, I don't think Swift will ever have fuel discounts. Swift is, and again, the leadership is what I'm talking about. The leadership is happy with what they have created and what they're doing. It's very hard for Swift to evolve. That's why it took so long for the load board to come out. This load board was supposed to have been out when I first started back in 2022. When I first came aboard, they said they were 3 months out for the load board. Well, that load board didn't come out till sometime last year, like late last year. Same thing with this 70% that's coming up. Do I think it's going to happen in September? I don't know. I know they want it bad, but I don't know if it's going to happen. And to me, I don't know if that's a good answer or not. I haven't really sat down and did the calculations to see if it's worth it. I got to really look at it and see, because they're going to give us option which way to go. I got to look at the numbers and see. Blame the Haitian that pointed a gun at me. I've been boiling all day. Yeah, I know you told me that you had a gun put on you today. Where were you at? Where that happened at? Newman hugs. It's all okay. Hugs. Oh crap, Newman. Sorry that happened for you. Yep. He called me. I called him earlier, and he said, "Yeah, I'm talking to the police." Those companies attract the desperate drivers with spotty records, and they hire these drivers under the false pretense that they are their own boss. Absolutely. Then they got a so the connection's horrible. Let me go back to Wi-Fi then. If that's the case, we'll go back to Wi-Fi. Um, yeah, they do. They advertise that load board crap too, right on the side of their trailers. Um, Guys, I can't do anything about the lag. If we're gonna have to deal with what we got. What's going on, Rabbit? Nice to see you. That you're doing great, brother. Hey, thank you. Always trucking J5. Hey, I appreciate it, buddy. So far so good. No big complaints. Had a little hiccup yesterday, but that hiccup was taken care of pretty quickly. It wasn't really that big of it. I made a big deal out of it, like I do everything. Hazelton's where you're at. Hazelton, Pennsylvania. Okay. Yeah. Me and Techno had a long talk about this today, and I sometimes I overthink shit, and sometimes I overdo and push my boundaries, and I'm working on it. Techno says it's twice as better than it was 2 months ago when I started there. Was not much there. Now I'm almost every load off the load board. Yep, and I agree too. I think I've taken. I'm trying to sit here and think for the. I'm going on 4 weeks now. I think I've taken about 50% load board loads and 50% dispatched. I missed your call today. Was sleeping. I'll get back with you in the AM. Absolutely, buddy. Give me a call. I don't know what happened, man. I tried to pick up the phone when you called, but I just missed you. But yeah, give me a ring tomorrow. We'll go over stuff. We had like 41 people on at one time, and we're down to 29. Jonah, you still on here? I got some comments for you. I got something I want to discuss with you, and I'll do it right here. It's no big deal. I'm not going to do it if you're not on here, though. There you are. Okay, so me texting back and forth with Michelle today. She wasn't in the office. I had some personal stuff that I wanted to take care of with her, but me texting back and forth with her, she says she's going to get you back in soon. Said she's working on you right now as we speak. And then again, I don't know what that exactly means, but I can show you the text. She wants you back over here. So that's good news for you if you still want to come. You can always stay there and be the gay cowboys. Probably pretty good at that. No comments? Speaking of which, I mean, who else on here really misses those two guys putting videos up? Because I know I do, man. You talked to her about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think she's close with whatever she's got to do with yours. Or she would have never made that comment if she wasn't. But two gay cowboys, man, I kind of miss those guys because it was good content to listen to when they were on here. It was funny at times. And honestly, it was more funny with the trolls that trolled them. And again, those guys kind of did it to themselves. They weren't real serious about a lot of things. Mark Healy says, in my opinion, the best way to make money at Swift, get the MRP or whatever they call it, train and put up 260,000 miles a year if they will let you team train in a truck. Yeah, that's a good way to go. That's obviously a good plan. I'm more towards the regular lease though. I'm not a big fan of the MRP, and let me tell you why. The MRP, you're forced to put money into your maintenance, and that's not a bad thing. But on the new lease, you're not. I mean, you're not really forced to do a whole lot of anything. It's up to you. It's really owner operator that way. So you see, Tommy Unfiltered is a company driver now. I don't. Oh, Unfiltered. Yeah, I saw that. He's still doing videos on all these guys too. Yeah, he sure is. Three Rigs. I've never watched any of their content. I've heard of it. So I believe all their content has been pulled down for now. I don't know. And that's the thing about him. He had at one time, and I'm talking about Coach, obviously. At one time, he had like damn near 100,000 subscribers. I don't know exactly what he had. And I don't know what kind of money or anything like that he made, but he dissolved the channel with over 100,000 subscribers, and he was getting paid on that. I just you don't even have to ever do another video, and you're still going to get some residual pay out of that, for a long time until it just dies or YouTube decides to take it off. I don't get that. I don't. And they started new channels. Why would they start a new channel? Like me, for instance, I would never start a new channel. The only way I would ever start a new channel is if something happened to this channel, kind of like what happened to Country. Situation like that, you really don't have much of a choice. You got to start a new channel, but and just hope that you would get your people back or make your name as close as possible or something. That's a very unfortunate situation that Country had to go to with that. But man, you work so hard to get something built up, and then that crap happens. Yeah, the content that the Cowboys put on was kind of comical. And again, that's what their stick was. That's what they did. They did that on purpose to basically attract the drivers there to Hirschbach. Jonah seems to like it over there, but there's a lot of people that do struggle over there. Just like Swift, you're not going to make $1 million over there, but you'll make steady money. They got a lot of great dedicated accounts, and again, that is a reefer company. I mean, you got to be on that reefer game if you want to do that stuff. And I never wanted to be the reefer guy. Do Swift still have half of the Atlanta filled out with out of service trailers? Mac T, I don't know how long it's been since you've been here. There for the COVID years. I say COVID, but it was after COVID when all the truck prices went up and all the trailer prices went up. The one thing that Swift did that was actually kind of smart is they sold all those nasty old trailers. I say nasty. A lot of those trailers were still in good shape. Even though they looked like hell, they were still in good shape. But they got rid of all those trailers and made money on those trailers because back then, you all know, brand new trailer back then was like $100,000 when, the trailer was really like a $25,000 or $30,000 trailer. Used trailers, $5,000, $10,000 trailers were going 30, 40 grand. So what Swift did is they took all those trailers out of service, and that's why they were sitting in the yard. Greer was the same way, and so was Ocala. They had so many trailers and so many trucks, and they just got rid of a lot of the old stuff. Is what they did. Probably the smartest thing that they did. So it's not that bad. I haven't been back to the Atlanta terminal, but Greer and Ocala are straightened out now. Coach lacks integrity. Yep, yep, I agree with you. Um, his thing that he always says is and there's a lot of trucker YouTubers that do this. They always say that it's the best thing ever. You know, the famous last words. You know, you guys need to come here because there really isn't a better place. Well, I never really tell you guys that. I just tell you that it's good for me, and I think most common people that have a brain can basically do what I do with no problems, and it's the easiest way to do it. There's no big secret here, guys. I've been to many different companies in the last 3 years, and I say many. I don't know how many, but it's funny because four of the companies I've been to at least twice. One of them 4 times, but I'm pretty seasoned when it comes to the lease operator plan and the owner operator plan now doing this. So I'm pretty seasoned, and I kind of know the companies to go to and the companies not to go to, and where you can succeed. Mac T said Atlanta terminal. Yep, we were just talking about that. Have you seen any protesters where you've been traveling? I have not seen any protesters or anything. Even driving through Louisville the other night with the thing that I sent you. Of course, it was 1 or 2 in the morning. Downtown streets were dead; they were desolate. So no, I have not seen anything. Nor will I probably see any where I'm going. I've got my load booked up till Saturday. Let me think here. Yeah, I got a load booked up till Saturday, so I'll be fine. Haven't been at Swift for a decade, and Decatur still makes me shudder. Yeah, Decatur is a weird terminal. It's in one of the worst parts of town. Now, granted, I've never had any issues or problems there with any bad influence coming from the outside. Um, I've slept there many a times, but it does get packed. It gets really difficult to get in and out of there. And honestly, Greer Terminal is even worse than that. When the drivers come in to park at the Greer Terminal, it's almost like you're at a truck stop with all the foreign drivers where they just literally stop and park wherever the hell they want to, and they block everything. Greer Terminal, same way. It was like that this morning when I drove through there. Do you remember what Michelle said the Swift Sales website is? No, but I'll look it up for you and I'll give it to you. Now, I'm going to warn you. The Swift. Oh, you know what? I know what you're talking about. Hold on a second. I'll find it. Bear with me, guys. Now, the only one that I have, I'll have to ask her what it is, or I'll have to get it for you. Oh, here it is, right here. It's let me make sure this is right. Just Google. It's swiftequipmentsales.com. Swiftequipmentsales.com is the website. All right. I remember Greer being a nightmare. It absolutely is. Freddie Legs, coach seemed so credible. Yeah, yeah. I know you're being crazy there, but yeah, I know what you mean. Can you stack multiple loads on the load board as well as see loads from across the country? Um, yes and no. So when from the load board, you can. I don't know how many loads you can stack, but I've had 2 loads stacked. Um, I've not tried to stack a third load. And the reason is, it's not that you can't, but the reason is they don't put the loads on there. They only put today and tomorrow's loads on there. You're not going to find a load from 3 or 4 days or 5 days down the way. That's just the way they do it. You're lucky if you find a load that's going to be on there for tomorrow. Now, there are a lot of dropping hooks where it has open windows where it starts today, and then you got all the way till midnight tomorrow, and then it'll tell you when the delivery is. But you're not going to find anything past 3 days. Definitely not 4 days. I can promise you that. What was the other part of that question? You can see loads all across the country. Now, again, Derek, and I want to stress to you guys on this, the load board is not where it's at. There's literally maybe 50, 60 loads on that load board at any given time, and that's stretching it. Usually 15 to 20. The load board isn't where it needs to be, and it will be eventually, because I think that's when they go to the percentage. I think that's what they want the owner operators to focus on, the load board. I think when that happens, I think you'll still see loads on there that'll be a lot more. But my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, knowing how Swift operates, you're never going to see loads past 3 days. That's just that's one thing that Swift likes to do. They like to keep control. And obviously there's reasons behind it. There's a lot of dumbass drivers that are out here that are late. And when you stack more than 1 or 2 days on there, there's a chance of something holding you up. Like for me, I had 4.5 hour traffic the other day. When was this? Monday. 4.5 hours in traffic on the Beltway, the 285 in Atlanta at 1:30 in the morning, and I literally moved maybe 20 feet in 4.5 hours. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever see anything past 3 days, just for stuff like that and just the dumbass drivers. GA Deshaun, hey, doesn't Swift own Bar None too? Yeah, Swift's got about 10 companies under them. Might be more than that. Bar None, Abilene, AAA Cooper, US Express, and of course, Knight Swift are combined. And I know I'm missing some. There's literally like 10 of them. Whoops, I didn't ask that. Where are you today? Greetings from Tampa. Buddy, Freddie, I love Tampa. Me and the wife, we absolutely love Tampa. We lived in St. Petersburg for years. Spent a lot of time in Tampa. Love that area. Very seriously thought about moving back there, a year and a half ago. But we just couldn't make it happen. It just didn't make sense. The property value over there is crazy still. But today I am in Virginia, right at the Virginia-North Carolina line, basically. I've got a delivery to make at a DG store, if you know what that is. That probably gives my location away, but the fuel that Swift offers at terminals is cheaper than at truck stops. No, not necessarily. I've not had any luck buying fuel at the terminals. Usually it's about 10 to 20 cents cheaper than what you'd get at one of the big fives, like Pilot, Flying J, Loves, and all them. But you're better off going to a QT, a Circle K, Sheets, Rudders, one of those companies to get your fuel. It's a lot cheaper, and that's kind of what most of the drivers do here. Hey, Freddie, thanks for joining. Love Tampa, St. Pete area. Yeah, she's just confirming. We love that area. Thanks, Rabbit. No problem, guy. 3 rigs. Newman Attacks says Fontana, California was the worst for parking. Gary, Indiana was the least safe. Decatur, Georgia had the worst employees. Some things you never forget. Absolutely. So I had an opportunity. So the load that I'm on now literally delivers tonight at 10 o'clock. And it's a live unload. And we all know, if you know what DG is, sometimes it's a good experience, but most of the time it's not a good experience. So I got a feeling I'm going to be in the door for a while. And that's okay, because my next load doesn't pick up till 10 in the morning, which is fine. And I'm only like 90 miles away. But what I'm getting at, I had an opportunity to take a load from, I believe it was Richmond, Virginia, going all the way to Mira Loma, California, like 2,800 miles. I was this close to taking that load, but I did not because of what's going on in LA, because that's right outside of LA. I didn't want to get into the middle of that shit, but that would have been and the other reason was It was literally 9 days on that load. I would pick it up tomorrow, and it would not deliver till the following weekend on Saturday, which is crazy to me why there would be that much time on that load. And you guys that are coming over, when I teach you these guys things, that's one thing that you guys got to keep an eye on is the dates, because and it's not just Swift, it's the load boards everywhere. The spot market load boards are really good about it. You can even ask Mark. He runs the load boards with USA. You got to look at those dates, because if you pick one of these loads and you're stuck on it, it don't make sense because you're sticking on a load. Because that load to California, a good driver could probably do that in about 5 days. Yeah, I know I need to drink something. You could probably do that load in about 5 days. But yeah, it's too much time on that load. Mac T says, I got one stop tomorrow, San Antonio, and then the second stop in Corpus Christi Saturday, basically down by the border. I'm sure I will see something. Hopefully get out before the roads are blocked. Yeah, you're going to be right there in the middle of that stuff. So you got San Antonio, you got Austin, Texas, and then you got Houston. Those areas are going to be bad. And the Bull of the Woods, he's YouTube royalty. Glad to have you in here, buddy. Appreciate it. I wish the East Coast Craft account was open to contractors' gravy train account. Never did that account. I don't really know anything about it. Mac T, you got a lot of good information, man. One day I need to hook up with you and talk to you. Newman Attack had some fun at Swift. Scorpion fights in Laredo was a good one. I'm assuming that your scorpion fights, was that live scorpion fights, or you just talking about fighting with people down there? Laredo, was it Laredo you were talking about? Yeah, Laredo is a very interesting place. A lot of culture there, man. Good old Gary, Indiana. Yeah, that's a great terminal too. I've actually stayed at Gary, Indiana. That terminal is in the middle of nowhere. It's on. I mean, you're literally right on the big lake, and there's really nothing but just industrial right around all that. Knight owns Midnight Express LTL company in Fargo, North Dakota. I'm surprised they don't own more LTL companies. Yep. They bought out M&S carriers years ago and dissolved everything that they have. And the terminal in West Virginia, Martinsburg, West Virginia, that was an MS Carriers terminal. And for some reason, they shut that terminal down. And I know why they shut it down. It's an older terminal. I mean, that building was probably 40, 50 years old, and it was decrepit. But I used to love to go to that terminal because they only have like 2 showers there, and it's so personable there. The people there were really nice. If you needed a load, you could walk in there. Just like another good terminal is Manteno, Illinois. That's another one that's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and you can just walk in, talk to the planners, and they'll hook you up with whatever you need. As long as they have it. I mean, they're super nice. So there's good terminals and there's bad ones. Nationwide Trucking. What you doing, guys, here? Okay. We are just having a show, just talking to shit tonight. It's kind of dark out here now. I wonder if the Blair will be gone. Where are you at? Live scorpions. You can find them at night with the black light. Okay, I got you. I thought you were having like a wrestling fest with scorpions or something. Newman, I would have a massive heart attack seeing scorpions. Yeah, I'm not so sure I would be in good shape either if I saw scorpions. Let's try this and see if this is still bright. Let me know if that's too bright on you guys. Is that too bright? Oh, man. So she says it looks good. Okay, good deal. G80 Sean. Oh, okay, so the Swift terminal in Gary is around the corner, Airport Road from Schneider. Yeah, I think they're actually, I don't know where Schneider's Gary terminal is, but yeah, I think they're pretty close. I heard Country talk about it once before when he was up there. So Mac T says, I was on the account as a company driver at Swift, was basically a shuttle driver for Kraft, no appointment times, and all drop and hook reefer loads. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. I did the Target dedicated up until February of last year in Lake City, Florida. What an awesome account. The only thing is you got to have a trainee while you're training, or you got to be a team to work that account, because you couldn't make any money. They won't bring anyways, but you couldn't make any money if you did. Scorpions are all in the southwestern states. They're the worst in Arizona. I've actually seen scorpions before when I was out there. Manteno terminal was pretty quiet. Yeah, I mean, literally, you could go to the Manteno terminal, and there might be 4 trucks there sleeping for the night, and maybe 20 trailers. That's it. And it's a little tiny building. I mean, I don't think the building's any bigger than, like a 2,000 square foot house. They got 2 showers. You got the planners and the terminal leader up in front. By the way, the terminal leader there, I don't know what his name is, but he's awesome. I talked to him for probably half hour the day I was up there. Super, super nice guy. So, for you guys that are coming over, man, that's what you do when you go to these terminals. You go in and you talk to these people and tell them who you are, what your truck number is, and tell them what you need. You got to make these contacts. Now, granted, those smaller terminals, they're really not going to be able to help you much other than Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. But still, it's nice to have contacts. Your bigger terminals like Memphis, Atlanta, Phoenix, trying to think which one up north. Gary, Indiana, I think has 24 hours. So your bigger terminals like that are 24 hours, and you can get in contact with those people. Newman says they had a terminal in Neenah, Wisconsin. When I was there, I spent 3 days as the only driver. Yeah, I've been to that terminal too. Neenah, Wisconsin's very quiet also. Locker room style showers when I was there. Yep, that's exactly what they are. You got a shower curtain that goes over, and that's it. Now, you go to some of the newer terminals like Greer, they redid theirs. Atlanta's redid theirs. You got your own little private bathroom, basically, with the toilet and everything. But the other ones are just basically showers with a curtain, like you said. Pretty easy, man. Pretty easy stuff. Well, you guys have kept me busy for an hour tonight. I'm pretty impressed. I didn't think it was going to last this long. Now, is this guy going to park in this handicap spot? I hope not. That's another thing, guys. I've always wondered that. You're a truck driver, but you have a handicap spot. How do you drive a truck if you're handicapped? I mean, I know there's some handicap stuff. And again, I'm asking this because I don't know. I'm not trying to be stupid here or anything. But how do you... I don't know, man. There's some other disabilities maybe that warrants it, but still. Walmart has locker room style showers at DC's too. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it's not a big deal. I don't care as long as it's a free shower. It's pretty easy. Walmart actually gives you towels and everything. Terminals here don't. I felt like an executive when I walked into the Phoenix terminal yeah, absolutely, man. That terminal is the Taj Mahal. And there's like 9 buildings on that property there. And I forget how many acres it is, but it's like 40 acres. There's like 9 buildings on there. I was going to say something about the showers. I don't remember what I was going to say. But yeah, those showers really ain't that big of a deal. Oh, what I was going to say, at Schneider, they actually had towels when you went to the terminals to take a shower, which was kind of interesting. They actually had towels that they gave you. Do they still have the shuttle? So here's the thing. There are some terminals that have cars that company drivers can use. And it's the same thing at Schneider, too. But the owner-operators cannot use any of the equipment. And the reason is because of the insurance. We're technically not employees of the company. That's why. So what you do is you find a company driver to hitch a ride with, is what you do. Not all terminals have that, and they're honestly, I think they're doing away with a lot of them. Same thing with Schneider. I think they're doing away with it too. But to answer your question, I don't know anything about a shuttle. The only shuttle I know is they use for the students to get them out to the parking lot where they drive and stuff. Did Swift lose the Costco account? I'm not sure on that. The only Costco account that I'm aware of is the one that they had out around Vegas. They might have had one in Atlanta, but I'm not sure on that. I really don't know. I met a truck driver that was deaf, and I was wondering how. Yeah, I just I don't know. I don't know how that works, and I'm not trying to make fun of anybody or anything like that, but I don't know how you can drive without hearing and having disabilities. I don't know. Maybe it's something maybe one of us needs to look into, figure that out. So the one thing, and I tell my wife every time I get a chance, the one thing that I love about driving a truck and doing drive-in, that was a lot to say there, um, is all the different types of things that you haul. Now, when you do flatbed, and again, there's all kinds of different things you do with flatbed, but you know that you're going to be hauling some type of equipment or something that's going to be used in construction or something like that 99% of the time. But with dry van, you just never know what you're going to be hauling. I mean, I've hauled everything from diapers to paper towels to clothing to beer, water, Pepsi. Um, I've even hauled stuff I've actually hauled big cables and stuff that you would see on a flatbed that they actually strap down in the trailer. Um, I mean, there's, sand, big rolls of paper, you name it. I mean, I've hauled just about everything. And I always tell my wife, all the different things like, hey, guess what I got in the trailer today? Hey, guess what I got in the trailer today? It's just, it's interesting. Swift had Mantivia, Maryland, and Monroe Township, New Jersey. I didn't know that. Huh. I saw Monroe Town. You know what? There was a load on the load board that was going to Monroe Township, New Jersey, and I believe that was a Costco load. Yeah, I thought hearing was one of those big must-have. Yeah, I did too. I did too. Um, I really did. P.U. Patel, hey, glad to have you in, buddy. Been a while since I've seen you on. Good evening, Fly Rabbit. How's things going with you, P.U. Patel? Everything all good? Hope things are well. I've hauled the reefer trailer units in a drive van. You've hauled a reefer trailer units in a. Okay, gotcha. I knew a guy in Alabama. He retrofit FLD for his wheelchair. Um, that's interesting. I mean, the FLD is a big truck too. Um, I don't know if some of these smaller plastic trucks would be able to do that. I mean, I'm not saying they can't, but it would be difficult. FLD would be the truck you do it with, that's for sure, or a big Peterbilt. You can get a DOT waiver for any disability by via doctor. Okay, I did not know that. I did not know that. Um, I know my boy Country did a video about his eye and stuff, and I remember watching that, and I know he had to get a doctor sign off on that. Um, but he got tired of people asking him, what happened and and all that. He finally just made a video about it. Um, when I was in school at Millis, we had a student who was deaf. She had little hearing when wearing hearing aids, but very limited. Interesting. So me and the wife are kind of dealing with a situation like that right now. Not me. The thing that's on front of the trailer where you see the temps and stuff. Oh, okay. I got you. So I know what you're saying now. I know what you're saying. What's up tonight, midlife? You probably can't get a DOT waiver for blindness, just saying. Um, I don't know. I'm just kidding. You're probably right on that one. That's pretty funny, midlife. I got to tell you, man, I've told you this before, and when you do your videos are awesome. If anybody doesn't, if they're not subscribed to his channel, y'all need to subscribe to his channel. And I'm sure you've seen his TikToks and his Facebook videos because he's the guy that takes the drone up, does the pictures of all the parking lots. So if you're not on his channel, you're not subscribed, go subscribe to Midlife Trucker. Great dude, great videos. I've been following him for about 3 years. And he was the reason why I went to Christensen Trucking. And I've told him that before, but Anyway, great guy. But what I was going to tell you, you missed your call, and you need to be a comedian because you're the one-liner guy, man. You've got something funny to say just about everything. I was going to say that's called selective hearing. Yeah, it could be. Blindness may be the hardest no there is. Yeah, you think? My head just swelled a couple of sizes. uh, Get 30 people standing here. We ran over an hour, guys. I got to tell you, it's been hot today. Says it's 84 degrees right now outside, but it feels like it's in the 90s. It's hot everywhere I've been today. I mean, I think it only got down to like maybe 75 last night in Macon, Georgia, where I was at. It was hot there. I slept with the truck running all night. I usually don't even do that, but it was just hot, sticky, more or less than anything. All right, guys. If nobody has anything else to say, I guess we'll cut the rabbit hole show off. I hope you guys like the name. I think it's clever, in my opinion. How's White Lightning holding up? White Lightning is Pearl. That's what my truck's name is, Pearl. She's Pearl because she's Pearl White. That's kind of the name that the wife and daughter liked, and I went with it. This is where you tell us some jokes to get the party started. Now, this is where you tell the jokes and get the party started. Did you eat tonight? You look great. Just saying. No, I have not eaten yet. There's actually a Bojangles here in this truck stop. I'm gonna go get me some chicken here in a few minutes, and I think I'm going old school bone chicken tonight. I'm hungry too. Like what does Swift stand for? I do Cheeseman, but it's a lot more letters. Sure wish I had a fast truck. How about that one? Midlife. So what does Cheeseman stand for? You got an acronym for them? All right, Mike. I think you asked me this earlier, Mike. So it's literally just a little bit after 8 o'clock. I just got the text through the system of the fuel prices. I think it was you that was asking about that. So I got all the fuel prices for tomorrow at all the terminals. And on Tuesday we get a message with usually about 3 or 4 o'clock, maybe 5. We get a text about the fuel surcharge. Super wacky international freight transport. Okay. Super wacky international freight. There you go. That's kind of cool. Okay, I thought it was you, but yeah, that's what that's it just came through. I got an acronym for JB Hunt. It slipped my bag. I ate your guts. Oh man, you never cease to fail me, man. Never cease to fail me. Oh man. You remind me of an old friend of mine, Mike Hawk. Mike Hawk. You know who Mike Hawk is? Cheeseman. Cruising highways, earning excellent salary, enjoying miles and new routes. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I saw on one of the channels, I can't remember who it was, but he was wanting to know about Cheeseman. I just wonder if that guy ever called you. I can't remember who it was though. Yeah, I can't remember what I did yesterday half the time. Hey, could you be a reefer driver? 12 hours in the dock. I don't miss them reefer prison. Yeah, I'm not reefer at all. Never. Mike Hawk is related to Mike Hunt. That's right. He sure is. Probably pissed the wife off. She probably disappeared because you're getting kind of ornery in here. Believe it or not, I've been watching my status to see if with any of the language that sometimes we put a little language in here just to have fun and kind of cut up a little bit. I try to keep it as professional, but sometimes we got to let things go. But um, hasn't affected any monetary, the monetization, which really surprises me. So you're crotchety. You're definitely crotchety, all right. JB Hunt, just been hired, unfortunately not trained. That's a good one too. There's the wife. She's I don't know if she's laughing or if that's googly eyes about that. That's funny. Funny, funny, funny. Mac T, that's a good one. Yep. Are you keeping track of your fuel cost per mile? I use the Let's Truck app. I've never used that app. It seems like a lot of work for, for the guys that do their numbers. I can understand it. My numbers I do in my head. I know for a fact that I'm somewhere between 34 and 40 cents a mile on my fuel. It varies, obviously, terrain, weather, all that. To answer your question, no, I've tried to use that app, but it just seems very complicated to me. Uh, for sure that they were down on this. Just keep the bad language out of the first 120 seconds for algorithm reasons. Yeah, I heard that too from somebody, and he's laughing. Question: if I come back to lease at Swift, do I need a down payment or no? Um, that's a loaded question, and that's really depends on who you talk to, what truck you pick. What truck are you interested in getting? Are you looking at a new truck, a lease truck? Right now, they're wanting $2,500 down for a new truck, but I'm pretty sure and pretty confident that they'll finance that for 25 weeks, $100 a week, 25 weeks, if you really wanted to do that and come back. That's what I was told last night, anyways. Hang on, guys. Trying to look at something here. Today is Thursday, right, guys? Midlife. I'm a company driver. I use the Let's Truck app. That information is way too valuable. My MPG is 7.10 and my cost per mile is 41 cents. Yeah, I'm actually at 8.3 today. I've got literally 12,000 pounds on the truck, which is really good. Wow. Today is Thursday, right, guys? That's interesting. They haven't settled out the payroll. I thought for sure they'd settle payroll out by now. Newman Attack says, went on a strict diet. Now I can't stop urinating. Yeah, that's what happens when you go to these keto type diets and stuff. Um, it's one of the things when I went straight, you would think that sodas and all that crap would make you pee more, but it's the other way around. Water just cleans me out. I've got to pee every 5 seconds, it seems like, when I drink water. Friday the 13th tomorrow. Yes, it is. And then Saturday the 14th after it. I think if they finance, it's 27 weeks at $100. Okay. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's probably right. Gregory, love to have you come back, buddy. It's been a while since we've talked. Why don't you give me a ring tomorrow, man? There's my number. Been a long time since we talked, Greg. Give me a call, man. We can talk about stuff. I want to see how things have been going with you. All right, we'll go back to the comments. Anybody got any more comments? If they do, let's put them up. $100 a week is better than upfront. Absolutely. Absolutely. I got my settlement this morning, and it reminded me why I'm returning to contracting. Yeah. Yeah. Which company did you decide to go to, MacT? Or have you decided? I'm bringing my passenger princess out for the next couple of weeks. Just be glad she doesn't have a CDL. Yeah, I've tried to get my passenger princess to come out a couple of times too. Just even on a little, like a local trip down to Miami or something. But I can never get her to get on the truck. I'd love to take her out one time. I know I see all your places you go to on Facebook, Midlife. You and the wife, when you're off, man, you do some traveling, dude. I know it's mostly Georgia and stuff, but you guys eat good, man. I'll tell you that. I see you going to breakfast and different lunch places and stuff. I envy you that. I just don't have time for it when I go home. Her viewpoint is that we all saw the merge sign at the same time. You are all hitting every barrel on the road. Well, that's right. My last 10,946 miles, 8.4 mile gallon at 31 cents per mile. At 31 cents per mile is actually pretty damn good. Um, I might have to look at that app again, guys. I maybe what's it called again? I have to go back. Somebody tell me what the name of that is. Truck something, I know. I might even have it downloaded. What's the name of the app again? Newman Attack says she doesn't want to smell your White Castle and Bojangle farts in the. Yeah, absolutely, man. Okay, cool. I've been at Crete out at Lincoln since 2023, but I'll definitely shoot you an email or a call. That percent pay is what grabbed my attention the most. Um, yeah, we'll talk about it. Give me a call, brother. I'm not 100% convinced on the percentage pay. Let's truck. That's it. Okay. Swift because of familiarity. The Lancaster terminal is my backyard. I got you, Mac T. If you don't mind, man, use me as a referral or call Michelle, please. Even though you've been here before, I can still get a referral out of you. Let's truck. Let's truck fuel gauges. So, which one is it? Is there two of them, or is that the same one? And if you decide to do that, Mac T, I'll help you out if you need it. I know you've been here before, but I don't know how long it's been since you've been here, but I'll at least, help you out. Let's truck. Okay, there's one. I don't have that one, so I just get it downloaded. I'll check it out tonight. The other one's called Gauges, huh? Fuel Gauges. That one too. I'll have to go in and get some ice. Wow, that's still cold. Surprising. Crete was a strong consideration before Swift. I actually looked at Crete too, but I don't. Why is this doing that? Later. There was something, I don't remember what it was that turned. I think the cameras is what turned me off about Crete, because when I came back to Swift, I made sure I had my own insurance, and that way I didn't have to didn't have to get their camera. Wasn't big on doing that. Yes, there are two. You want Let's Truck and Fuel Gauge. Okay, I'll get both of them. Let's Truck app. Okay, I think it was Fuel Gauge is the one that was confusing me. I've never seen Let's Truck, and obviously I've never downloaded it before either. So I'll get it on once we get off and take a look at it. But 31 cents a mile, man, that's pretty good, Mark. That's really good. Because my lowest that I've ever had was right around 34 cents. And that was pretty much all flat land, too. Oh, guys. I don't know why settlement hasn't. I don't know why settlement hasn't come out yet. Interesting. Anybody got any questions or anything they want to bring up? We can talk about it. You Patel, you'll get a camera when you start training. Well, yep, absolutely. I'll have to get their insurance and I'll have to get their camera. Um, Still working on that. Don't know where we're going to go with that yet, but I'm still working on it. I think it'll be great YouTube content as long as the trainee. See, that's going to be one of the things that I'm going to have to have. The trainee's going to want to have to not necessarily go on you. Well, I'm kind of undecided on how I'm going to do that because there's not everybody that wants to go on YouTube, but I really would like to have somebody that wants to go on YouTube. And I honestly, I think I'm going to have them sign a waiver. I know it sounds really strange, and crazy, but I don't want anything to ever come back in the future if I put them on TV. The app is called Let's Truck Fuel Gauges. There is another Let's Truck that is like a podcast. Okay. Interesting. Let's Truck. I only see the one Let's Truck. Okay. Mac T. I will have to call Austin and ask for the James deal. Absolutely, Mac T. Call Austin. Is that the route you're going to go, is get a truck from Austin? Just to let you know, if you call him and put my name in, not only will I get a $250 gift certificate, but you will also. Not that that's a lot of money, but still, it'd be nice to get the referral for both of us. There's a lot of trucks on their website. I was looking at it the other day. A lot of good stuff, man. And just remember, even though he's in Tampa, that doesn't mean he can't get a truck from somewhere else and still work a deal with you. So keep that in consideration. Well, guys, we're in an hour and 22 minutes. I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night. I got to get ready, go get a bite to eat, and get ready to go over and drop this load, and then get some sleep for tomorrow. Be safe. Have a great night. We'll see how things go over the weekend. I might pop up and do a random video through the weekend. We'll see how things go. I've been kind of testing times and stuff. I've got an idea of something that I want to try out, and I'm going to try it out this weekend sometime. So you might get a notification. And if I do it, it's probably going to be late at night and early in the morning hours. Not 200% sure everybody's going to like it, but I got an idea, and I want to see how it works. Newman says, I was wondering why Swift isn't getting internationals since it was brought up last night. The Peterbilt is going to be the replacement for the internationals. The problem was with the internationals, just like everybody always talks about, nobody wanted internationals. Even the company drivers didn't want an international. So they just decided they weren't going to get any more internationals. They still have a few. You can still get used internationals, but they're very far and few between. Have you ever heard the truck and car show in Calhoun, Georgia tomorrow? No, I didn't know anything about that, but I'll have to check that out and see what that's about. Yeah, I'm leaving in just a few minutes. Okay. Yeah, I'll be leaving here in probably 30 minutes. Somebody waiting on the parking lot. Okay. All right, I'll move. Okay. All right, no problem. Bullshit. He ain't waiting on it. We'll see how many parking spots are available here. I can't even log in. Anyway, looks like I'm going to have to log off here, guys. You all have a good night. And no, I didn't hear about the truck show, Midlife. By the way, I spent at the same Loves you did earlier in the week. I also got the Forbidden Brisket. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that place. Be safe, drivers. Much appreciation. Love and respect. Show fun and respect. Six Bigger Trucking. Week 24 is uploading as we speak. Oh, man. And Newman Attack. What's the reason for the international hatred? Not too sure, brother. And thanks, guys. All right, guys, y'all have a good night. Appreciate y'all coming out. Just keep an eye on the pop-up. Talk to you guys later. Good night, Mark. Mark, I see your comment. See you guys.